Hey, what's up guys, Jed here. Will intermittent fasting cause starvation mode? Good question. Let's talk about it. But before we get into the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you stay up to date whenever I post a new video. Alright, so before we answer today's question, first we need to figure out what starvation mode is. So according to aworkoutroutine.com, starvation mode is the supposed state a person is in when an excessive approach to weight loss has slowed down their metabolic rate enough to completely prevent further weight loss from happening, or possibly even cause weight gain, even though a caloric deficit remains present. And if we move down a little further, it says, however, when a person is in a caloric deficit but isn't losing weight, also known as a weight loss plateau, the most often assumed reason is that they've entered starvation mode. So does intermittent fasting cause this starvation mode? If starvation mode exists, well, the short answer to that would be no. Intermittent fasting does not cause starvation mode. But I want you guys to sort of think of it like this. The whole purpose of intermittent fasting, at least when I talk about it, is for weight loss, right? And for that to happen, when doing intermittent fasting, it does require you to go long periods without eating, okay? Now, I've had a lot of people tell me whenever I tell them that, oh, you've lost weight, how'd you do it? I always tell them I did intermittent fasting, and they're like, oh, so you basically starved yourself. And I basically tell them, well, that's not the same thing, man. I see it more as I limited the amount of food I ate to correct my bad habits, okay? And I feel like if starvation mode was a thing, it's more of like a choice, a bad choice that people make, right? Like, for example, if we think about intermittent fasting, like I said earlier, it does require you to go long periods without eating. And when you do that, you have to have a plan, right? You have to prepare ahead of time before doing intermittent fasting. And if you don't, and you're not prepared ahead of time, let's say you ate junk food as your last meal, or it could be anything, chocolate, chips, you name it. If that was your last meal that you had, that's terrible preparation for the fasting window, right? So theoretically, it would feel like you're starving, right? Because you didn't eat the right foods to help you push through that fast, and the only, source of energy that you provided came from junk food. So yes, you could say, in a way, intermittent fasting caused that starvation mode, but in reality, if you think about it deeper, you are the reason that it feels like you now entered starvation mode. And honestly, that could literally be said about anything, whether that's intermittent fasting, keto, paleo, the warrior diet, whatever. If you don't have a game plan, if you don't plan ahead before jumping into these diets, you're always going to feel like you're in this so-called starvation mode, which in short is pretty much just a person feeling like they're starving to death, which shouldn't happen if you have a plan and if you eat the right foods. So going back to our first question, will intermittent fasting cause starvation mode? First thing I want to say is I don't think starvation mode exists. I think it's just called starving. I don't know where the mode came from. And second, no, intermittent fasting does not cause starvation mode. That's all I gotta say about that. If you guys are interested in learning more about weight loss and intermittent fasting, be sure to check out my last video where I talk about what you can drink when intermittent fasting. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and tap that notification bell so that you never miss out on any future videos. Also, don't forget to leave a like and comment down below letting me know, is starvation mode real or not? And with that said, I will see you guys next time.